In 2025, there have been a lot of changes with respect to the updates of the software, and today in this video I'll be giving you complete insights on the new strict rules that have been updated with respect to tricking the software as far as 2025 is concerned. I want to make most out of this video. Make sure you watch the video till the end. Hey everybody, Nakul here from SKILLS PTE Academic. Really hope everybody is doing fantastic. I'm back with yet another super awesome packed video on how to trick the software with the updated rules of 2025. Well, before we get into the video, if not subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button. Anytime you need online assistance, it's a paid assistance. You can check the information in the description of this video. We left a WhatsApp link. You can click on the link, send us a message. We will do the needful. Also to tell you, recently we released our 3 official ebooks. First was PTE speaking cheat code, second reading cheat code, and the third match winning approach to PTE. If you don't want to miss out on the contents present in these ebooks, links are in the description. You can click on any of the links, buy it as a combo, and avail some discount as well. Alright, without any further delay, let's straight away get right into how to trick the software with some updated rules of 2025. Let's quickly get into the rule number 1 of 2025 with which you can still trick the software. The very first rule is in the PTE read aloud. You can skip the difficult words 100%. Yes, but how many difficult words? 1 or 2 or 3, not more than that. 1 or 2 or 3 words you skip, because if you speak them, probably you may fumble, you may hesitate. Then 100% you can skip them, but make sure your fluency is all precise. You do this, you still will get 35 out of 35 from read aloud towards your speaking and reading both. Remember this. Let's say if this is the text and these two are the difficult words that I have this phobia that if I speak, probably I'll fumble, I'll break the rhythm, my flow will be affected. Then you can just skip them. But when you skip them, make sure you are very natural. Make sure you skip it in a way that it is very difficult to identify that you've skipped the word. The flow should not be broken. Something like this, you gotta speak. Have you ever in your life had the chance to spend time with a golden or a Labrador? Golden or a Labrador, in that way I did not speak. Spend time with a golden or a Labrador. You know, one of these dogs that from the moment they come into this world as a puppy have something in their DNA to just fetch. You do this, 1 or 2 words you skip, you still will hold chance, full chance to get 35 out of 35 from read aloud towards your speaking and reading, both 100% tested. Meaning, if let's say you're all precise in read aloud, then speak full. But let's say you have some problems, 1 or 2 words or 3 words always pose problems, skip them and just speak with a proper flow. You still get full scores, and this is what I'm talking about. So with this thing, we will also cover one more rule. Can I just read one line? Meaning, have you ever in your life had the chance to spend time with a golden retriever or a Labrador, and click next? Avoid doing it. We've seen students getting low reading scores. Not everybody, but most of them. So with this, I'm telling you, avoid doing it. Read full, because it is very easy to do. Apply the method that I talked about if at all you have problems in few of the words. The rule number 2 with which you can still trick the software in 2025 is listen less, speak less in repeat sentence. Remember, even in 2025, repeat sentence is all about the fluency and not just the content. I know people just practice for the content, but what gives you mark is not just the content. Content could be 30-40%. It's 60-70% of the fluency. Meaning, let's say if there are 6-word audio, 7-word audio, I'm sure nobody has any problems. But let's say the audio crosses 10 words. Let's say 14 words, 15-word audio. Now the problem starts only if you try to speak every word as it is. Then don't speak. The point is, even if 50-60% of the audio is perfect, you're gonna end up getting 3 out of 3 from one repeat sentence towards your speaking and listening both. Meaning, first 50% is what the score guide says. I don't recommend just 50%, just little, beyond it, probably 60-70%. First 60-70%. If there are 12 words, first 8-9 words. If there are 15 words, first 10 words. So first 60-70% you speak without compromising on the fluency. You're gonna get 3 out of 3 from one repeat sentence towards speaking and listening. Let me show you a small demonstration of what exactly I meant. If this is the question, what's super interesting about this is that it means a massive amount of information is bombarding you. 17 words are there, something like this. May not come, may come, we're not sure. If this comes, how do I end up speaking? What's super interesting about this is that it means a massive amount, and click next. Or you can also say, what's super interesting about this massive amount of information? So in chunks also you can speak, at a stretch you can speak, but start from the beginning. In between 1 or 2 words you skip, no problem. Try to speak at a stretch 60-70%. In a flow, you're gonna end up getting full scores from repeat sentence towards your speaking and listening both. Remember this. The number 3rd important role is with respect to describe image. Yes, templates are banned. Keyword templates are banned. You use template and put one word in each sentence of the template, again marks will go down. Fully templated responses banned. You cannot use them. Speak at least 3 full sentences on your own by looking at the picture. And when you speak, don't worry about the grammar, don't worry about the logic, don't worry too much about content. Yes, you need to give something relevant from the picture. Even if it's not a great idea, it's still fine. Even if it's an average idea or a bad idea, anything from the image will do. Focus more on the fluency than on the content. And with respect to template, don't use lengthy templates. You can use template which act as structure. Something like this I've shown in many of my videos. You can use them. The image provided is a dash that gives information about, while x-axis talks about, y-axis talks about. This line comes only for line graph, bar graph and pie chart. And then 3 key contents. It is evident that conversely, another interesting point is these 3 sentences, the main ideas we call, you got to speak from the image, and then you can conclude by saying overall this image illustrates. Let me quickly show you a demonstration on how do we do it for this particular picture. Tricky picture, how do we do it? The entire secrets, the rules are hidden in the beginning 25 seconds. How you manage to collect data? 3 things I'm gonna collect in the beginning 25 seconds. Let's start and understand the 3 things from the image. The first thing is sculpture, or a lady is probably doing a skull structure. That's my first point. Second point would be there's already 3 monuments or 3 statues she has already done, which looks fantastic. The next point is all these 3 structures are on some wooden table, which means probably they are showpieces. So 3 points. The first is it's a lady or a sculpture who is still designing a statue. Second is there are 3 statues of some known figures. The third is all these 3 statues are on some table, which means or which shows that they are on display. These 3 things is what I'm going to speak. Let me show you how I do it. The image provided is a picture that gives information about a lady who is doing a statue. It is evident that the lady dressed in green color is actually designing a statue in white. Conversely, there are already 3 figures or a statue of the faces already been done by this lady, which looks really fantastic and also looks like they're iconic figures. Another interesting point is these 3 iconic figure statue is kept on a table, probably which means that they are on display in a museum. Overall, this image illustrates a lady who is a sculptor who is designing some of the statues. You just have to speak using the template. Automatically it will cover some 25 to 30 seconds. Don't fumble, you're gonna get full scores. Let's quickly move on to Retell lecture. The rule number 4, strict rule number 4 with respect to tricking the software, updates 2025. Templates are banned. Keyword templates are banned. Fully templated responses are banned. Mechanical responses you cannot give. You need to give something which has life in it. Speak at least 3 to 4, I would say 4 and above if possible, or at least 4 phrases on your own. Use a structure kind of a template that I'm about to share. One template is enough for all kind of audios. Even in describe image, one template is enough for any kind of images. And here or in describe image, if your grammar goes for a toss, absolutely fine. Grammar is not the criteria. So this is the template. The lecture discusses. In the beginning the speaker explained, later the speaker said, here the speaker also mentioned. In conclusion, the lecture effectively summarized. You can alter it the way you want it, but yes, this is the structure which will definitely help you get a flow. You can use them, and same template is what you're going to use for summarize spoken text. The next rule is the rule number 5, where you can actually skip answer short question from practicing. In the exam, you just listen to it. If you know the answer, you speak the answer. Otherwise, you say something random and click next. This is not going to give you scores. We've tried and tested this. Many of my students, or including myself, have tried and tested this. We skipped this module, still we have gotten 90, so don't worry. Don't have to pay someone the money for the repeated questions. All this do not deserve this. Don't worry about it. The next rule is with respect to summarize written text, how to trick the software. 100% this is working. Take any 2 random sentences, full sentence. After a full stop, you start copying until you find a full stop. Like this, do it one more time, you get 2 sentences. In between them, add a comma and a connector and but, or whatever the fanboys that you want. Towards the end, put a full stop. Done and dusted for both PT Core and PT Academic. This will 100% work. The next rule number 7, is with respect to essay writing. How to trick here? Very simple. Avoid fully templated responses. You will be caught. Avoid only keyword template kind of responses, meaning a big template has some dash and you fill one word in it. You got to write sentences, minimum 5 or 6 sentences with a mixture of simple, compound, complex. You can use my template or anybody's template, but make sure to write 5 or 6 sentences on your own with a mixture of simple, compound, complex sentences, and make sure no spelling or grammar error. It's the spelling and the grammar that makes a huge difference towards your scores than the template. Content has become priority in 2025, meaning simply you cannot write whatever that comes to your mind. Read the question and whatever is relevant to the question, address it. If the question has 2-3 parts, you got to address all the parts separately. You don't address all the parts, again marks will go down. Remember this. So this is the template that I've shared. You can also use my other template, although such topics in all likelihood any of them is fine. Both of them are working, meaning both of them are giving good scores. People are getting 90. Though essay contributes some 20 marks, if 2 essay comes, people are getting full scores. This is what I meant. You can just take a screenshot. It demands you to write 6 sentences on your own with a mixture of simple, compound, complex. And when you write, you make spelling mistakes, marks will not come. Remember this. The next rule is rule number 8. Remember, reading FIB and writing FIB. You cannot endlessly take 5 to 6 minutes per question. 2.5 minutes and not more than that. Few questions could be very easy. You can take less than 1.5 minutes. Few questions could be very difficult that it demands a little bit of more time. Maybe you can give 3.5 to 4 minutes. On an average, it should be well within 2.5 minutes. Otherwise, you cannot finish all the questions on time. Reading FIB, writing FIB, 2.5 minutes and not more than that on an average. And to get to this, make sure your strategies should be a mix of grammar, collocation, and then context. It's not simply reading every line by line and doing it. Wherever, whenever possible, you're gonna jump. That jumping is possible only when you can do using grammar and collocation. If there are 50 blanks, at least 15 blanks will be based on context. The remaining 15, 16 or 17 will be based on grammar. The remaining ones, 15, 16, 17 will be based on collocations. So you got to remember these 3 things and accordingly target. Check my 6-hour full course and 6-hour FIB full course, meaning fill in the blanks full course. These 2 videos will give you full clarity on how to do it. Whatever I've explained there is still working even today, even in 2025. It gives you good scores. The next rule is rule number 9. To trick the software, absolutely you can skip, choose single answer and choose multiple answer in reading module. The moment you see a question, randomly click one and move on. You don't do this, perhaps you will complain saying, I couldn't get enough time to solve or finish my reading module. Remember this, the moment you see this question, click one answer and move on. The next is summarize. Spoken text, same template, same method, everything is the same with respect to PTE Retell lecture. But over here, grammar and spelling makes a huge difference. Let's say you wrote a perfect template, perfect answer, everything is precise, but made 6 grammatical errors, it's gonna be 0 marks. One summarized spoken text may give you 5 to 6 marks, 2 can give you 10 and not more than that, 10 to 12 marks. In order to get the entire complete marks from summarized spoken text, towards your listening and writing, you got to fix your spelling and grammar. And not simply using the template. People have this assumption that I use this template, I got good scores. No, it doesn't work that way. It's basically what you fill inside the template. And when you memorize the template, make sure you memorize the spellings as well. I've seen students making spelling mistakes for the template that they use. The words in the template people will not write and learn. As a result, the words in the template, they make spelling mistakes. The marks will go down, so it's the same template as the Retell lecture. You're going to use it for summarized spoken text for PTE Academic. For PTE code, you can shorten it because PTE code is only between 20 and 30 words. The talk was about, firstly the speaker talked about, however, it seemed that 13 words you can use, or you can just say the talk was about, firstly, however, if you've written a little bit more. Apart from that, not much of the changes. The rule number 11 with which you can trick the software, remember, you can skip 4 sections even in 2025. May end, you can skip 4 sections in listening, choose single answer, choose multiple answer, highlight correct summary and select missing word. Skip in the sense you cannot just click one answer and immediately move on as we did in reading module. Here the idea is you let the audio finish, because until then the next button will not be activated. You got to let the audio finish. The moment the audio finished, if you're ready with the answer, well and good, click that answer and move on. If you're not ready with the answer, then also randomly click one and move on. We have done this. People still have gotten 90. Even today they're getting 90. So don't worry at all about these 4 sections. And anyhow, for PTE core, you don't have highlight, correct, summary. Pearson themselves have removed this. Alright, the last rule is write from dictation. I recently made a video as well. Write from dictation 100%, adding extra words, adding extra spellings, working. You can rely on that. If you're not getting scores even after adding, that only means that your listening skills are weak. You're not adding the words that actually match with the question. You're simply adding which are not matching. Adding extra words is not going to bring your scores down. Remember this. So write from dictation. In a nutshell, you can add extra words. You can add extra spellings. Ordering of the words do not matter. You can write in any order. It need not be matching the exact order. Grammar is not going to make sense. Punctuations is not going to give you scores. Starting with a capital letter or even starting with a small letter also will not make any difference. Just stick to this. Whatever the rules that I told you, you should be able to get a whopping 90 overall if you just follow them in 2025. Alright, I think that's all for today. I really hope this was an informative content. If you believe the same, like, share and subscribe and leave your valuable comments in the comment section. With this, I'm gonna park the video here. This is Nakul, N-A-K-U-L. Nakul signing off from SKILLS PTE Academic. Soon we'll be back. Till then, take care. Bye-bye. Thanks much.